If your wavy hair is still getting frizzy, no matter what you do, you probably don't need another miracle frizz taming product. In fact, I bet you've got plenty of those on your bathroom shelf already. I honestly don't think that frizz is fixed by buying yet another product. I think it's usually just a few small tweaks within your hair care routine that can make a big difference. So today I want to share with you 5 super practical things that you can do to help improve and manage frizz. Before we talk 5 frizz fixes, that's not an easy thing to say, I just want to let you know that part of today's video is very kindly supported by LilySilk. I got to choose some silk pieces from their collection, which fits so naturally within this video because we're going to be talking about friction, especially while you sleep. So I'll show those properly a little bit later on, but we're going to start with shampoo because I think this is where a lot of frizz problems begin way before you've got to styling your hair. There are a few different reasons why frizz can show up in your wash routine. Could be the product, the technique, or even the frequency. So let's chat about products first. You want a shampoo that is going to do a really good cleansing job, get your roots and scalp clean, but not roughen up or leave your hair feeling stripped. If you have to spend longer detangling and working through knots once you've got conditioner in your hair, then you're potentially going to cause damage and roughen up your hair cuticle, and all of that will show up as frizz. I find this happens pretty easily for my fine wavy hair, but there are shampoos I trust to leave my hair feeling soft, not stripped. I'm just going to mention a couple of favourites, but I will link my Amazon storefront in the description box, which has lots of options at different price points. First up, Pureology Hydrate. This has been one of my favourite shampoos for a really long time. It's creamy, but it doesn't leave my hair feeling heavy or weighed down. It's very hydrating, it's very gentle, and it does a thorough cleanse. However, I have been using on repeat a product from And Honey, which I believe is a Japanese brand, and it's their Melty Moisture Shampoo. It's got a clear texture, it's quite runny, it lathers up, it's super gentle, but it just doesn't roughen up or tangle my hair at all. It's fast becoming my firm favourite. Now, how you actually shampoo will also make a difference. Doesn't need to be complicated, but if you have hair that's really on the dry side or damaged, you could actually apply a protective oil before you get into the shower. So I will sometimes do that over my mid-lengths and ends, and then I'll detangle so that once I actually shampoo, it's less likely to get roughened up. It provides just that little bit extra protection for your hair. You want to just focus massaging your shampoo into your roots and scalp. You don't need to worry about the lengths of your hair. They will get clean when you rinse out the shampoo. Now, when it comes to double cleansing, this is something that I just play by ear these days. When I was following wavy and curly hair methods, I did double cleanse with a sulfate-free shampoo. But honestly, most of the time, I don't feel the need to do this anymore. Perhaps if I have used a oil pre-wash or a treatment product like a Prey or Philip Kingsley, and my hair doesn't feel squeaky clean, then I would go in with the second cleanse. But I think this is one of those things where there isn't a strict rule, there isn't a right or wrong, you just need to adapt based on your hair needs. And then finally, let's talk about build-up. Your hair can actually get frizzier if you have got build-up, because although you might be using all the right products, if you've got a coating over your hair, they're not going to be given a chance to work properly. Shampoos are there to get rid of excess oil, product build-up, also maybe perhaps minerals and chemicals from hard water that could be sitting on your hair. So I don't think there is a holy grail shampoo. I think it's just about working out what your hair needs and balancing getting a really good cleanse but not making your hair feel stripped. Friction equals frizz. Or at least what I found is that friction is one of the biggest things to cause my wavy hair to look rougher, drier, and more tangled. And that happens especially overnight, which is really frustrating when you went to bed with soft waves and wake up with a bird's nest instead of hair. One of the most effective ways I've found to keep my hair soft while I sleep is to add an overnight serum to help hydrate my hair, and then I wear a silk bonnet to sleep in. The one I chose from LilySilk is beautiful. It has these ribbon ties that wrap around and fasten at the front, so it's really adjustable. The fabric is so gentle that I've found that it has reduced the amount of mornings I've woken up with strange creases or marks on my face. Although that has also been helped from the pillowcases, but we'll get to those in a minute. The silk bonnet really helps to reduce tangles and friction that can be caused from your hair rubbing on your neck and shoulders or on your pillowcase, and so I wake up to much softer, smoother waves. Blue is my favourite colour, and I think this dark navy is so chic and elegant. It is a really beautiful piece. Now, if a bonnet is not your personal style, each their own, you've got options. I would definitely recommend swapping out your cotton pillowcase for a silk one. I chose a couple of different options from LilySilk so that I could compare them. There's a 19mm versus a 22, and both are 100% mulberry silk, which in a similar way to the bonnet helps to reduce friction, tangling and frizz. The 22mm has a slightly more luxurious, elevated feel, but honestly, both are so lovely. In comparison to cotton or satin pillowcases that I've used in the past, the pure silk felt that noticeably smoother and definitely more breathable. I didn't find I got quite as hot at night. And for my hair, that meant that I had a smoother, less tangled and definitely less frizzy result in the morning. Now, if you were opting to use a silk pillowcase, I would also take the time to put your hair up into a protective style, something like a loose ponytail or a plait. And the LilySilk scrunchies are perfect for this. Again, I chose the dark navy, but they come in a range of different colours, and within the set, you get different sizes. They have the perfect amount of hold, so they keep my hair in place without creating tension or tightness, which can actually potentially sometimes lead to damage, particularly around the front area of your face. And not once has my hair got tangled in these. Oh, that panicked feeling when you get an elastic band stuck in your hair. Not good. That's definitely not happening with these. And then lastly, they were very generous and they actually let me choose one of their silk jersey sets. Now, obviously this is not a hair care product, but I did just want to share it with you because the t-shirt top is 100% pure silk and it's so soft and cool against my skin, which has been a huge bonus since we've had a couple of crazy heat waves in the UK recently. I've worn the t-shirt with jeans, but I particularly like the combo together as loungewear. I felt very chic and elegant. I think anyone who has wavy hair will know that feeling of your hair expanding in humid conditions.
When I go places with high humidity, it gets a little extra body, okay?
So I wouldn't say that I have a perfect solution, but I have definitely found ways to tackle this so that my hair doesn't look enormous. If there's a lot of moisture in the air, which obviously there is when it's humid, your hair can actually start to absorb that moisture. So the hair cuticles lift, swell, expand, and your hair gets less defined and bigger by the second. And then on top of that, if you've got wavy hair that's high porosity, colour treated, damaged, on the dry side, frizz is going to show up pretty quickly. The best method I have found is firstly to style as close to my natural wave texture as possible. So I am not doing a bouncy blow dry in 95% humidity. Instead, I would opt for a very natural enhancement, and if you want a couple of really easy techniques on how to do that, I'll link a video above. But what I've found makes the biggest difference is how you layer your products. So I would absolutely make sure that I use a leave-in conditioner on soaking wet hair. You need to add that moisture into your hair so that once it's in a humid environment, it won't seek it from outside. But then once that leave-in is there, you want to use an oil or a serum, and generally in a humid climate, I would use a slightly more emollient, thicker oil and really glaze that product over the top of your hair so you're smoothing and sealing the hair cuticle. I will then go in with some kind of hold. And that would either be an air dry cream, something like JVN. I've been testing lots recently, and I have to say probably now that might also include Living Proof, but watch this space because I've got loads still to come. Or I would use a gel, and I would opt for Olaplex number 10 and probably just use a little bit more of it than usual. Now, I know there is a lot out there in the curly and wavy hair communities about gels with glycerin and avoiding it in humid climates. I'll be honest, I just haven't done enough testing to share with you my opinion as to what works best. I've just found that using a little bit more of my favourite gel really helps to keep a little bit more structure and definition to my hair. The other option though is something I don't usually love, and that's a wave spray. There is something about adding that little bit more of a texture to your hair that seems to kind of keep humidity at bay a little bit more. But again, I don't live in a humid climate most of the time, so it's not something that I've managed to experiment loads and loads with. But when I went to Florida and it was 95% humidity, that layering technique is what stopped me from looking like Hagrid 24/7. Technique to me will make so much more of a difference than product ever will. In fact, you can use amazing products, but if you don't apply them in the right order or the right way, you can still end up with really frizzy hair. The first thing I would say, if you're following curly hair techniques and you're really struggling with frizz, you might want to rethink them, because honestly, things like upside down styling, the bowl method, scrunching out the crunch, pixie diffusing, those are all techniques that cause my hair to get frizzier. They clearly work amazingly well for strong curl patterns because I see them all over Instagram. Beautiful. For fine, loose, wavy hair, not so much. Instead, I prefer really simple techniques that don't roughen up my hair cuticle. One of my favourites is what I call my bend and twist technique. It's very gentle and it just encourages the natural S-bend that's already there in my hair. That way I'm not doing loads of aggressive scrunching, because when you think about scrunching, it's lifting the hair in an upward motion, which I think tends to roughen up my hair cuticles, and that equals frizz. Another couple of things that make a difference is I actually really love to smooth my hair first and then add shape back in. What I mean by that is I will often rough dry my hair, so keep everything nice and smooth, and then add shape back to my hair with 9 times out of 10 a heatless method, or perhaps even a curling tong, or most recently a crimper, which, throwback to the 80s, I've just fallen in love with. And then finally, styling on soaking wet hair. I'm not 100% sure why this works so well. I don't understand the science behind it, but I notice a massive difference to the amount of frizz that I have if I've applied things like my leave-in conditioner or an air dry cream or hold product to very wet hair. I also find my shower styling routine and my side dunk method, which is my alternative to the bowl method, really gives me juicy, soft, frizz tamed, not going to say frizz free, but frizz tamed hair. If you would like a bit more information on those routines, I will link the videos in the description box. If you've cut silicons out of your routine based on, curly, wavy hair advice saying that they're really bad for you, but you're still dealing with frizz, your hair feels rough and dry, it might be time to have a rethink. I think silicons have been kind of unfairly demonised. The advice that sort of comes from curly and wavy hair communities is that silicons are going to weigh down your hair, cause build-up, create a coating, and stop moisture from getting in. And yes, I do think they can do those things, but I also don't think that those things make them bad. Silicons can have a lot of benefits. They add slip to your hair. They can help with detangling, reduce the amount of knots. They can make your hair feel smoother and look shinier. They will also reduce friction, which again is going to reduce frizz. Reintroducing silicons has been a massive turning point for me. My hair feels healthier and softer, it looks shinier, and generally just seems to be in much better condition. But this again is one of those things I don't think is black and white. You have to work out what works for you. But if you have been avoiding silicons and your hair is rough, dry and super frizzy, I would think about reintroducing them. And you've got options within your routine as to where you put them. And you don't need to overload it in every single step. I would start by just picking one. That could be your conditioner or mask in the shower, a leave-in conditioner post-wash, or even through oils and serums at the end of your styling routine. And my all-time favourite silicone to look out for on an ingredients list is amidomethicone, because that one will actually bind to hair cuticles that are roughened or lifted and help smooth and seal them without completely coating the hair. So if you've got fine hair that's easily weighed down, that will be a great option for you. If you found this video helpful, you may want to watch this one next. Thanks so much for being here. Take care. Have a lovely day. Bye.